Here's a girl that you like. Do you A. say hello, B. ask for her number, or smile and ask her name? Actually, none of the above. We'll get back to that. I studied seduction for 1,000 hours and was very shocked. Many of us are told to smile, be with the person constantly, and make the first move. However, these are mostly lies, lol. Through hundreds of interviews and books, what did I learn? Back to the girl. If you say hello, then it's not much of a conversation. If you ask for her number, she might say, I don't know you, or, huh? Lastly, just asking her name is too direct. Trust me, it's weird. So what's the answer? Well, let's say we're at school as the setting shows. Unless you're a Chad or popular, then just asking a question is good. Where's the bathroom? It's over there. Brother, not that question. What color is your hair? Blonde. Okay, that didn't work. Ask something like, when's the next football game? Or if the school is hosting an event. However, this should be done with confidence. A study I found tested the confidence of people and found confidence, in turn, was a strong predictor of overall romantic attractiveness. Overconfident participants were again perceived as more confident, but were also judged by raters to be more arrogant. So confidence affects attractiveness a lot. After you ask the question, chat for a bit and invite them to something. Especially if you get along well with them, and make sure to listen well to what they are saying. Most people are very defensive nowadays, and seduction is all about getting the person comfortable. Okay, let's say you invite the girl to a football game and it went smoothly. Now, what do? Part really depends on the situation, but I'll give an example. So, now you're seen as a friend most of the time, but your situation seems like a date, assuming no one's third wheeling. Now, it's all about the seduction. Like, you're at a football game alone with a girl. What do you say? A study done by Arthur Aaron found 36 questions that created personal closeness between someone, and it should help. This list starts off with, given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest? And ends with, share a personal problem and ask your partner's advice on how he or she might handle it. Yeah, that's pretty intimate. However, after this experiment was attempted, strangers went from just meeting to crying and sympathizing with each other. So, back to the football game girl. Over time, as she gets more comfortable, it's better to get more personal with each other. She shares her stories, and you try to relate to them with something similar. As you both relate to each other's stories, you'll build a better connection. Instead of like, wow, nice day outside, right? This conversation will also inspire desire. That rhymed. As you are rent-free in her head forever, in a nice way. Depending on how the night went, you could easily ask her back to her place, or yours, or just keep it in touch. If you stay in contact, just don't be too needy. It's like, would you rather be the rare diamonds or the common stone? It's comparable to that one friend that always texts us versus the one that never does. Now, the most important thing, don't let the spark die. At this point, they're probably thinking about you, talking with their friends, like news. Imagine if a news channel didn't have news. No one would watch. So, keeping them in suspense, asking what's next, has them waiting for your next move. Now that you're in their head, you sort of have a tab. Okay, how does he act? What has he done? And who is he? Or her? You know, it depends on the situation. Guys and girls are somewhat similar. It's also good to be unique in some way, where people can't find a replacement for you. This will heighten your presence to make you the diamond, as long as you are or become the person they want in their life. Which depends on the person. Now, let's talk about influencers that seduce the world. This guy should work. What makes women and maybe men desire him so much? First, I'd say his looks. He's just attractive. Second, the confidence and way he presents himself. Having pleasing energy gives a person almost like an aura that is very seducible. Lastly, I'd say social proof plays a huge part. If other women or men find you attractive, other people can see this. From a study I found, the researchers wrote, most observers suggest that attractive people are likable due to associated attributes like social ease and confidence. A less attractive person with a high number of followers and likes suggests that other features, perhaps friendliness, relevance, empathy, and realness, are the source of their social network, which also increase perceptions of likability. A less attractive person's likability can be increased by 64% from the status. So in my mind, looks isn't everything for seduction. Of course, dating apps are most about looks, as everybody knows. But there are ways to make your presence valuable, even for an average person. Goals and dreams. We all have them, but how does this relate to seduction? Having the other person believe you can give them a golden future is very seductive. Being a good husband or wife, helping them chase their dreams, people will want a future with you if it follows their desired path. Next, let's talk about spirituality. Just as a candle cannot burn without fire, men cannot live without a spiritual life. Buddha. Very inspirational. Entering a person's spirit will be very seductive. This is where deep levels of trust are created and the ride or die situation. Getting to this point requires a lot of work, but it is very possible. Gifts are very seductive too, if specific to the person. Getting a gift they love is much more important than buying any gift. It's the extra effort that counts. But what types of gifts should you give? Well, a study was done and showed basically everything. I guess according to the study, flowers are always good, but a hand-picked gift could be memorable too. Is humor attractive? Based upon what I learned over 1,000 plus hours, this person said the best. Okay, I'll read it. Genuine. That's funny laughter versus a forced, I guess I'm supposed to laugh here. Laugh versus an awkward, wow, this person's very strange. Could have different effects on attractiveness. So just someone laughing doesn't mean, oh yeah, he's hot or whatever. It really depends. Sure, there are ways to be seductive, but what not to do? As mentioned before, overconfidence is bad and so is negativity. Actually, negativity is somewhat seductive. This is the same reason why people watch the news and enter toxic relationships. It takes you on an emotional roller coaster that seduces you into staying. Negativity also stirs our emotions, which can make a person vulnerable easily. However, using negative seduction will attract other negative people, so be careful for what you wish for. This also ties into danger being seductive. I'm not talking about risking your life or anything, just a bit of surprise. Like just the normal stuff. Also, paying attention. This is very important. When you meet someone for the first time, having the inner monologue of does he like me or does he like me is bad. It's best to actively listen to the person and learn the small details about them. That just shows that you care about them. Charisma is another part of seduction, and it's about having this incredible confidence that gives off an aura. It's like the feeling when you look at someone and know they're a good person. In terms of smiling being seductive, I did deep research and found it makes a person more attractive. This study took people's faces and manipulated them to smile or not. The study says, we found that the intensity of a smile influenced the judgment of attractiveness for both male and female faces. In line with previous findings, faces were judged as being more attractive when they were smiling. Here's why the researchers thought this. First, the findings may be caused by the rewarding value of happy faces. Second, the emotional expression might influence the emotional state of the observer and thus may modulate the attraction to the person. So for everyone saying don't smile, it's actually important. Last thing is learning to make a move. Standards nowadays are so low anyways, but it's better to wait until they're attracted to make a bold decision. I once heard someone saying that they made a move after they were comfortable in laughing with them, which is smart. Well, no matter what, they should always be comfortable with you. Now that you have a girlfriend, please subscribe, and maybe you'll learn something else new.